Hi, I'm Amanda, and this is Tattooed Mother Creations. And this week, we are going to make lactation cookies. So, let's get those boobs full of milk. I had to do that. Just once. Alright, well, lactation cookies are basically cookies that are good for you and really good for moms who just given birth. They have lots of vitamins in it and lots of nutrients that are really essential for developing that breast milk. And lactation cookies will help you develop more milk so you can keep up with all those growth spurts. When they go through growth spurts, they drink like nothing else, and you feel like they're constantly attached to your boob. So these will help you get a little bit more and get some free time from your kiddo. So here we go. Alright, so the first step you're going to do is basically making a flour mixture. You're going to want to get a whole wheat flour. If you don't have whole wheat flour, you can use regular flour. That's fine. Whole wheat just makes it a little bit more hearty. So you're going to grab your flour and then baking soda. There's about a teaspoon of baking soda along with your cinnamon. That's over here somewhere. You're going to have a teaspoon of cinnamon and just a little bit of salt. All right, and make sure you mix that really well. Just basically mix it till you can't tell if there are any ingredients in it. And there you go. All right, so now you're on to your creamy base, basically. We're gonna get the sugar, which is about half a cup of sugar, and half a cup of brown sugar. Now you need to make sure you pack the brown sugar in whenever you are measuring it. Half a cup of butter, and make sure it is softened. You do not want it to be cold butter. It mixes a lot better. So go ahead and mix those together, and then we'll add more ingredients. And try to get it nice and creamy. Now this butter is a little cold, so it's not exactly creaming up as much as it should. Alright, so while it's mixing, go ahead and add vanilla, but since my vanilla spilled everywhere, I gotta remeasure it. You're going to want 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Alright, so and then the last ingredient, well not last, but second to last, is your peanut butter. You're going to have, how much peanut butter? I don't remember. 3/4 cup of peanut butter. We're going to wait for that to get all creamy, and then we're going to add the yeast. Alright, once that is all mixed, you can also use almond butter. If you don't have peanut butter, almond butter is really good too. Now once you have your creamy mixture here, I'm going to add some brewer's yeast. Actually, I have nutritional yeast, but brewer's yeast is the same thing. Nutritional yeast has just a bit more vitamins in it. Brewer's yeast is actually made from brewing beer, but this is just made from molasses, basically. So add that in there. And then also, after that, add your flax. Now this is just milled flax. I don't know what else to say about that. All right, that is all mixed in there as well. It's all nice and creamy. And the next step, you're gonna add your eggs. So 2 large eggs. And that's gonna get it a little bit creamier. Now, as I go along, I continue to scrape along the sides of the bowl just to make sure all the ingredients are mixed really well. All right. Now you're on to your next step. So you've added all of your main ingredients, all the wet ingredients. You have your creamy mixture going on here. It's nice and gross. Next, you're going to add your flour mixture you made earlier. It's your 1.5 cups of wheat flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and a little bit of salt. So go ahead and add that to the flour mixture as it is mixing. If you need to stop a little bit and scrape the sides, that's really important. You want to make sure all the ingredients get mixed in really well. Alright, at this point I'm going to mix it by hand because it is very thick. Alright, so now you're going to add your chocolate and nuts. So go ahead and grab wooden spoons, work better than most of the other spoons. Kind of break it up a little bit. Makes it easier to add the chocolate. So I have about 2.5 cups of chocolate chips. A lot of people prefer 2 cups, but I am a chocoholic, so I add more. Alright, now add your nuts. I have about 1 cup of walnuts. A good tip for making cut walnuts, turn your blade on its side and actually just crush them. These cookies are very similar to making peanut butter cookies. Which are usually very dry. If you are worried about it, it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe add another egg. We still have our oats to add, so probably a good idea. You could also add more peanut butter. Something that's rather creamy. It's a lot easier to use your hands. That's what she said. Had to do it at least once. We're talking about nuts and handling them, chopping them, crushing them. Yeah. Well, now you can see things are getting pretty sticky. Something's happening on our house. Huh? Something is happening. Really, really sticky. All right, I'm gonna add another egg. Not a lot of people would advise you to add ingredients near the end, but whatever. Just make sure you add it really well. Nice and even. Takes a while though. All right. Good enough for now. I'm gonna mix the oats in and I'll help mix it in more. It's gonna suck. Gonna get your hands nice and dirty. Nice and messy and sticky. Doing all this. Make sure you mix it in there really well. You're done when the oats are all covered in something. It's kind of like kneading dough. Alright, my hands are sticky enough. I don't know if I can do this anymore. That's good enough for me. I'm gonna wash my hands. Alright, so just grab your cookie sheet. There's many different kinds. You can have a cooking stone, cooking sheet, whatever you want to use. That's fine. Grab that, your dough, and something to oil it down. I'm just gonna use Pam, good old Pam. You can use coconut oil or olive oil or vegetable oil, canola oil, butter, whatever, the old-fashioned lard, that's fine too. So get it all oiled down and you're gonna scoop out and you're gonna wanna mold a ball. Mold lots of balls. Just like so. It's going to be about 1.5 inches, and I don't know, would that be diameter? Inch and a half. Be careful because the oatmeal will make it break apart a little bit. While you're doing this, make sure your oven is preheated to 350. If you live somewhere where you cannot find brewer's yeast, go to your local organic-ish kind of place and ask for nutritional yeast. It's basically the same thing. I kind of talked about it earlier. Nutritional yeast is just actually better for you. Alright, so you have your balls all laid out. Yes, I said that. You're gonna grab a fork and flatten them out a little bit. Just a little bit. Kind of like peanut butter cookies. Another substitution for peanut butter is almond butter. I mentioned that a little bit earlier. Stick that in there. Alright. From here, you're going to put it in the oven for about 12 minutes. And then you're good to go. Just keep going. So here are the cookies, the finished product here. Now I made mine a little bit thicker so that they're a bit more chewy. A couple tips for making cookies in general. to keep your dough in the fridge. That helps your cookies turn out perfectly. As well as with these cookies, if you want them to be a little bit less chewy, flatten them out a little bit more. Now they do fall just a tad bit as they cool down, but they won't fall that much. So these are a little bit chewier because I made them thicker. Just make the ball bigger. So many jokes. So many. So anyway, Lactation Cookies. Here you go, finished product, done deal. Wait till they cool down to take them off the cookie sheet. That's about it. So yeah. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please let us know. Also, visit my Facebook for this recipe. It'll be available in my notes. So check us out, and I'll see you next time. Yeah? Here they are. Oops, I need to stop touching them. Alright, I can't get through here.